truly Clariza talaga, and since this is an open air, probably, most likely, definitely, I can afford not to wear my mask for a few minutes while I discuss a very important status and the basis of it. Today is the 5th of April 2021. It's the first Monday after the Easter Sunday. So, happy Easter. The 5th of April 2021. So, as you can see, this is a very, the background that I have. It's in the front of our house. And this also serves as my office, the registered office address. It's a busy street. There's the QR code, which has its registration at the Philippine database, and there is also the Homeowners Association of Pleasantville subdivision. On top of that, there's the barangay clearance, the barangay permit. Actually, since time immemorial, I don't think I have to elaborate on the contention of hostile parties or how we found ourselves in one of the parties, contending parties, in adversarial due process here in the city of Lucena, province of Quezon. What I may regard as public knowledge, there is a counterpart paperwork, technical guidelines that are already submitted and being processed, being heard. That's how far apart we should be, diba, in speaking with each other. We're more than 6 feet apart, 7 feet apart. So I want to take this opportunity to discuss the daily time record as basis for the submitted payroll and other vouchers. To whom will I submit it? What's the basis? And what are the proofs of its regulatory compliance, our legitimacy, our legal status? So the daily time record, I am going to prepare a card representing my salary and other remunerations and compensations for the month of June 2019 up to March 2021. Whatever is within this period, I know should have basis, and this is the basis. I have here the 1994 Philippine Standard Industrial Classification as amended. I got this from the BIR certification that Clariza T. Garcia Consultancy Services has been registered since 2003 at BIR RDO 60, Regional District Office 60. For 2019, the barangay permit, barangay 11, here in Lucena City, signed by Barangay Chairman Peter De Leon. In 2018, it was signed by the different department heads of the local government of Lucena City. For 2020, there's the occupation permit signed by our barangay chairman Bartolome Comilla. And for 2021, that is actually the business order. That's the task for me in the coming days. If one doesn't register the going concern, which is permitted under license, under permission by the state, the BIR can impose taxes and penalties, sanctions. So, alongside the declaration and willingness to pay the penalties, I would be asking for consideration due to reported incidents. I would appeal for consideration for leniency and understanding in computing the taxes due on account of the various businesses that I have, and also the SSS payment, the PhilHealth, and the Pag-ibig. So they come under the record consolidation. We were not able to pay because the proof of this, because the justification would be the following. So there are proofs and evidence why we could not pay them when we should have, at the date that we should have. I can see the garbage truck going this way, but since I'm on a roll, so according to the BIR Certificate of Registration, I am registered under Section K. This is the group classification. Hi, Kuya Saglit! Basura!
Basura!
Actually how it had been for the last how many years, since we do not have housekeeper, we do not have daily woman coming in to help us with the chores. I really have to divide the work hours, but from morning till evening, the last thing that I would do would be the chores, not incidental, but in order to maintain this household. So it's really multitasking to the max. The 1994 Philippine Standard Industrial Classification as amended. This is published by the National Statistical Coordination Board. They have a website where I was able to download the PDF copy. And it's interesting to know that my BIR registration, business registration, and BIR stands for Bureau of Internal Revenue. It's the equivalent of IRS in the States. So the last section would be Section K, Real Estate, Renting and Business Activities. Division 70, Real Estate Activities. So this is Group 701, and I shall read it. Real estate activities with owned or leased property. This group includes buying, selling, renting, and operating of self-owned or leased real estate such as apartment buildings and dwellings, non-residential buildings, developing and subdividing real estate into lots, etc. Development and sale of land and cemetery lots, and operation of apartels. This group excludes, these are the exceptions. Development on own account involving construction is classified in Group 452. Building of complete constructions or parts thereof, civil engineering. The operation of hotels, rooming houses, camps, trailer camps, and other short-term lodging places is classified in Group 551. Hotels, camping sites, and other provisions of short-stay accommodations. But hang on, there's, I believe, a catch basin for all the things that will not be mentioned, the cracks. There's actually a catch-all subgroup, the subclass, which I also belong, my business registration, because I fall under 7499 class, other business activities, NEC. And I shall not enumerate this for now, but all the activities of Talaga Information and Business Consultancy can be seen in here. I have here the ISIC code 7499, the international standard, which is, I guess, I know for certainty that it is meant to reconcile one terminology from one country to another.
Kritisismo, partner Mike, hindi para magtagumpay yung kanilang kinikriticize, kundi para ibagsak, hindi maging matagumpay. So yun yung isa sa mga problema talaga na kinakaharap din maliban pa sa COVID-19 na ito na nagpapastress lalo sa ating mga kababayan.
So, kaya dahil pong pinapaalala ko na ating paniwalaan, maniwala kayo na mayroong COVID at maniwala kayo na ang vaccine ay solusyon. Kasi kaya ko sinasabi ito, kasi ngayon may mga lumalabas, hindi na nga naniniwala sa COVID, hindi pa rin naniniwala sa vaccine. Sabay ano kayo? Hindi tayo nga po mahirap na bansa. Mabuti nga hindi tayo katulad ng Europe at ng Amerika. Tulad sa Amerika ngayon, milyon-milyon na ang may vaccine.
Hi, so it's still the 5th of April 2021 and it's 9:30 a.m. So most of the news, understandably, is about the COVID-19. So the lockdown, the ECQ in Metro Manila and other provinces, it's extended for another week. So here in the provinces, we take our cue if we have business with any establishments, any company that's located within this bubble, the NCR Plus, we would have to modify our own means of communication and doing business with them. So this is part of the what I am pursuing at this time. The things that I am allowed to do under my own company, the things that I can speak for, and the things, the statements that I can make, the mentions of names and the brands and logo, and the things that I must apologize for, because it had raised, incidents in the past wherein I had mentioned and I had uploaded business names and other companies that have called my attention to them. I want to thank them for bringing this up rather than give rise to wrong interpretations and wrong perceptions. So actually, what they did is right. operation of TIBC, talaga Information and Business Consultancy, otherwise known in BIR as Clarissa T. Garcia Consultancy Services. Who are our clients? Can I provide the list and the name of our clients? I had encountered this very legitimate question because they are ascertaining the operation, the source of income that I have. First though, before I give my answer, I want to say that will the answer that I give, will it satisfy, as it satisfies group allied to us, allied to me, sympathetic to my cause, quote and unquote? Will they be able to satisfy the technical guidelines and prerequisites of camps opposite, diba, who have already engaged me, engaged my family to a due process, an adversarial due process. And so I must not only provide the legal framework, though I'm a non-lawyer but I own the company, I must provide the basis for existence and our operation as far as the regulation is concerned, not just to satisfy the groups that I am part of, but more so with the mediation, the supposed to be objective mediator of contentions born of business interests, contending business interests. That's one way of putting it. Another is the personal issues hounding us, which seek to define actually and name the venues, diba, where we can also present our own side, where I can present my own side. So the preparation, the groundwork that I had done, that is now the basis for the daily time record that I am submitting. It's not just for the management, for the company, but also it's also for the opposing companies, hostile companies, competitor, and the mediator and regulator. Hello, so in continuation of the company profile, talaga Information and Business Consultancy, otherwise known as Clarissa talaga Consultancy Services. It's classified in the industry, in the list of industry here in the Philippines under Section K, Real Estate, Renting, and Business Activities. It also says here, real estate, renting, and business activities. It's the catch-all. And mine falls under the class 7499, other business activities. So this class includes a great variety of service activities generally delivered to commercial clients. Commercial clients meaning they to operate on their own business permit, their own compliance to regulations. So it's not so much as for individual consumer or the grassroots market. I have been properly guided all along when I say that the clients that I have cannot be disclosed without establishing the need, because they are protected by the pre-pandemic data privacy, right? So commercial clients, in the practice of my profession, there is bound to be miscommunication and not proper interpretation being non-lawyers amongst us, and so it was brought out into the open last 2020 while we are in under the advisory of IATF. So I had a little difficulty in writing a proper response to the legal demand letter that I have received from Grab. So in connection to that, may I just enumerate the reason why, you know, a penalty that will be imposed by BIR RDO 60 for the license that I could not renew in 2020 because of the difficulties like being disowned by a group which previously I have supporting papers wherein I thought I was really a legitimate bona fide part of it, but since I got the notice, there is no ifs and buts but to adjust my way of doing business, the operation, diba? Otherwise, you know, on its own, a standalone business registration here in Lucena City allows me as the CEO to do the following. There are actually subsets, subclass 27499, but first, you know, this is the main job, main service that I am allowed to give to a commercial client. Bill collecting, credit rating in connection with an individual's or firm's credit worthiness or business practices. I cannot do for others what I cannot do for the company. We cannot engage in any of this without first being declared as, you know, credit worthy, ethical business practice, diba? So I cannot have an outside commercial client without ministering for our own needs. Business brokerage activities like arranging for the purchase and sale of small and medium-sized businesses, including professional practices. Appraisal activities other than for real estate and insurance. Stenographic, duplicating, and mailing activities. Hello, LBC Courier. Including typing and other secretarial activities such as transcribing from tapes, discs or belts, proofreading, etc. Copying, blueprinting, multigraphing, and similar activities, envelope addressing, stuffing, sealing and mailing, mailing list compilation, etc., including for advertising material. Methinks, how can one advertise without going public about it? So how do we maximize the expense for advertising without going to the public domain, right? So when I was issued the cease and desist order, it was on account of the things that I made public already. So it should not be retroactive, but only from the date that I had received. But of course, all this will be consulted to a real lawyer. But since I was able to copy furnish them of before going to public about it, I should have received the notice or demand letter after the proof of delivery, after proof of the copy furnishing, diba? So I would not take it as a retroactive, only from the date of the receipt of the demand letter. Next, fashion design related to textiles, wearing apparel, shoes, jewelry, furniture, and other interior decoration and other fashion goods. Hello, Urban Fashion Modeling Search 2019, Urban Fashion Modeling Search Kids Edition, diba? Next, demonstration and exhibition activities. Demonstration, usually the most effective during the pandemic, when it first started to infect globally, was through YouTube, through video, through presentation, virtual, demonstration and exhibition activities, auctioning activities, editorial activities, translation and interpretation, trading stamp activities, telephone answering activities. All these come these are the daily work activities that I did. Actually, there's no such thing as Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Because I have a goal, a deadline to meet. Activities carried on by agencies on behalf of individuals, usually involving the obtaining of engagements in motion pictures, theatrical production, or other entertainment or sports attraction, and the placement of books, plays, artworks, photographs, etc. with publishers, producers, etc. If I am not well placed, if I do not have the curriculum vitae and the resume to undertake this, diba? If it is not within my area of competency, then I should not be able, I am not a legitimate company to offer these things, right? So that's why my curriculum vitae, my resume, my experience, and the proper regulation compliance in connection to registered works, those were the work that had been cut out for me. I can truly say that as of this time, the 5th of April 2021, I am well placed to undertake these services, and that the professional fee has to do with the market valuation that I have already established. This class, however, these are the exemptions. Excludes extending credit through the use of credit cards, is classified in subclass 66130. So credit card activities are not allowed. Machinery and industrial design are classified in class 7421, architectural and engineering activities and related technical consultancy. Technical consultancy, stoward, engineering, so that's also not part of this registration. Display of advertisement and other advertising design is classified in group 743. So the advertisements with regards to the engineering field, the engineering works, these are not included. But in the subclass 74991, bill collecting and credit rating services is included. 74992, business brokerage activities. If I am able to sell the business of other people, what then is my limitation to do it? Or one of the services that we want to subcon, or that or a bigger company who may wish to subcontract us, diba? So 74993, stenographic, duplicating, and mailing activities. So I had been furnished with the reason for the cease and desist order. So it has to do with what I have sent, which comes under this, stenographic, duplicating, and mailing activities. And 74994, fashion design. 74995 interior decoration services other than those in class 4543. So, pwede pala ang interior decoration, hindi lang yung engineering talaga, like design of the house, the structure. They come under a much technical guidelines of a sound engineering principles, diba? So 74999 miscellaneous business activities, NEC. So everything that's not part of the exclusion or the exemption will fall under miscellaneous business activities or NEC. And then here in the lexicon,
my soul, his blood covered my sins. I believe my Redeemer lives, my Redeemer lives, my Redeemer lives, my Redeemer lives. Well, I don't know that for sure because my eyes didn't see it, my ears didn't hear it, but that's what I believe. I can stretch it to say that that's what I assume. I assume that my Redeemer lives. I assume that